Satchel.
See,
Yep, there it is. Pulls, A main, concusses rubble, and then he re-smokes it. This smoke is going to replace or go over the suck so that they can continue taking space and separate that attack and just control this whole area. That's kind of the idea there. Very nice. So today we're gonna learn how s0m plays Astra on Lotus. As we know, s0m, this guy right here, one of the best Astra players NA. So starting position is kind of like this area of B. Usually puts a star here, and the reason he does this is because the enemy team has a Omen, they have a Raze, and those two agents typically like to get across rubble really quickly right off the bat at the start of the round so they can contest A. Raze can satchel across, Omen can teleport across relatively safely. So the reason he puts 2 stars here and here is that one could be a suck to separate the attack once they do that play where they teleport or they satchel across. This can either be a suck or a smoke so that they can block off this position, they can take space this way and control this area. And then the second star is like concuss. So if they do see a satchel go across or a teleporter go across, a s0m can concuss right there, basically right away. His A players can scale up and then punish that player that TP'd across. So it's basically like a countermeasure for that early A main cross into rubble.
Satchel.
see,
Yep, there it is. Pulls, A main, concusses rubble, and then he re-smokes it. So I'm gonna put like numbers next to it so it's like easy to tell. 1, 2, and then 3. This smoke is going to replace or go over the suck so that they can continue taking space and separate that attack and just control this whole area. That's kind of the idea there. Very nice.
wow.
That was a good trade. Bait the teammate. Love that. That's tough.
Sam, yo, they played that in. Dude, what the f? It's 3 a.m. How are they this perfect?
It's 3 a.m. s0m's routing here. He usually goes through stairs back into site and scales that way. He usually never goes through the breakable door. And I believe this is because, one, he has a stinger. You know, this fight that he would take here is not good. It's just an unfavorable fight for him. Most of the time, he's just going to route this way up in the top, come back around this way, and then retake from here. That's going to be his routing most of the time.
Heading to the above.
So yeah, it looks like that's pretty much how he's starting every round. Suck, concuss, pretty standard. Sometimes he puts a star in B, sometimes he puts a star in C. So his setup is usually something like this. 2 stars here, 1 star here, and then he has 1 in reserve.
Covering it.
All right, so he didn't see anyone A. That's pretty important there. So they already invested a bunch of utility here. Since the Jet didn't see anyone after that dash and the flash went off, he's not going to invest his, suck and concuss right away. And he's been doing that consistently, right? So the enemy team knows that, and they're probably not going to, blindly contest that. So he recalls the stars instead of popping them. And he still has 2 here for like a smoke and a suck or something like that. That's crazy.
Two.
Okay, note to self. If a Raze is about to rocky you in A link, just be a Giga Chad and hold your ground. Stand there and let him miss. Got it. Okay, sounds good, s0m.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
Grabbing up.
If pitch 40. Sam, you are nice, eh? Okay.
Notice that he didn't smoke that because he wants to kill them. They're in a 3v1 right now. He heard the Killjoy trying to cross, so it's possible the Killjoy was going to try to peek them, and then the concuss or the suck just holds him in place and he just peeks and kills him, or it just prevents him from crossing. He's not scared of the fight, so he's sucking instead of smoking. All right, so we have a different smoke setup this time. We got a B smoke. We're on a full buy. This is a little bit more of a passive setup. They're not trying to contest anymore. So he just does this smoke and this smoke setup. Sometimes a more passive setup is what I want to go with because they have an op, right? So since they have an op C here, they basically control all of Mound. So they're going to have to use a bunch of utility to push this. If the Jet gets a pick with the op, they're probably going to rotate back to A. So they're on an eco right now, which means, you know, his setup is going to be a little bit more passive. They don't want to take space at A and fight those close angles because the enemy team is going to try to do something tricky. Maybe that's most likely why he's putting stars in like the B main entrance and, you know, the A main choke, because his teammates can take those longer fights. He's kind of expecting them to rush a site potentially, most likely rush B. So yeah, that's kind of the reason behind his smokes. Enemy on eco, smoke setup.
Oh!
There you go. Jet got a double op kill, actually. That's an interesting smoke. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, is that so you can try to plant close? Interesting. Oh, well, there you go. Unfortunate timing. Yeah, even s0m is like, what is that tech, bro?
Even has no. Wait, they're fucking opposite. How are they taking A and B at the same time?
They gonna push.
Spike planted.
Ooh.
Stick that. Trust me and stick that.
Uh-oh.
On the wall.
And that's popping off.
Nice. What a natural wall, huh, John?
What a fucking wall.
What a wall, huh? And I suck too, so they can't push. Oh my god, it really is a masterclass, disaster class, masterclass.
Astra.
All right, well, you heard it here. We got the reason behind that suck. So he had a star here for a smoke. That's normal. He had two teammates, I believe, that were like here and here. He puts a gravity well here, which kind of prevents the B players from scaling past CT into the waterfall area and fighting those guys. So what he does instead is he's put the gravity well here, preventing them from pushing. And then he puts the wall, you know, this is a pretty typical like retake wall. Retake wall kind of goes right here. And this will help them defuse the spike if it's planted, you know, normally. Retake wall. All right. I don't know why he peeked the wall. I think just to get information for his team that was defusing. I'm not sure why he peeked. I mean, he might have just tried to like catch him on a timing where they're trying to like come through the wall and fight. So he's probably just trying to peek that and maybe get a pick and hide again in the wall. So
Dude, I can't respect this. That's the
Satchel. And TP that thing.
yeah, s0m hardly ever goes through the A link door. If he's gonna rotate to A, it's usually gonna be through spawn to stairs. And I believe the reason for that is so that he can see if they're gonna, you know, they're gonna have to break the door themselves to go into B. They'll get that information that they're like breaking the wall, because usually the attackers are not gonna want to break the wall so that they can take A main and push A without having to worry about that threat of A link. They're usually only gonna break that door to open up that path so that they can go B, but they wouldn't really do it willingly unless they have to.
Going door.
Yeah, see, that kind of proved my point right there. He broke the door, and then his teammate called out, they're going door.
I'm gonna beast mode. Broken door. I flash.
Planted.
Ready? Flashing.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, nice.
I think he's gone. Yo, he's gone.
Damn.
That's lovely. He's got the classic smoke and suck. FNS is playing like this position, and he has like an alarm bot here. They're gonna try to like TP or satchel across, and it's gonna split up the attack. He probably heard them like in the smoke here, so that's why he sucked early. And if they push through that, then, you know, he's trying to get the timing right.
I'm here.
So he actually placed the alarm bot after the suck. If it's a C hit, he routes this way. He never really he doesn't go back here unless he was like RDA. And then eventually he gets down into this bend area. He plays this like off angle. This off angle is really good. He's playing this angle too, also because of the alarm bot. As soon as this alarm bot goes off, he's gonna peek bend. And if they do push him, he's gonna try to get like a pick or two, and then he'll just like fall back.
One that door still. 4B. Flashing your spawn.
The smoke goes away.
I think he's spawned. I'll down your spawn.
There you go. Got a couple picks there. They have 10 seconds left. Oh no, they're gonna fight it.
Wait.
He doesn't have time. Psycho.
120. One bomb.
Oh, wait, they got the bomb down?
I do not believe it, bro. I do not.
Wow, I
believe
didn't know they got the bomb. That's actually crazy. That's gonna be pretty much it for the defense side. He pretty much exclusively plays B. He never breaks the door. Yeah, he never breaks the door there because he wants the enemies to break it so that they can signal that they're going to take B. It's an extra wall that gives you info, essentially. So if you break that door as Astra, then you're kind of screwed in this little spot if they throw like a bunch of utility at you and just take that space, and then they can take B pretty easily because they know that Killjoy is going to be playing C most likely. They're pretty weak. C is kind of like the weak side, and they have like 3 usually playing A. Yeah, for the most part, he's just fast rotating through top, coming back downstairs, and just like holding the stairs position, and then he'll smoke A main so that he can fight these like close angles. A lot of the rounds he started with like this suck stun or smoke stun, or sometimes it's a suck stun and then he replaces that suck with a smoke as his teammates are fighting to take this A main control. You know, he's not going to do that every round because eventually they figured out that he was doing that every round and denying them, you know, this space. And then eventually he opted to a more standard early round star setup where he put like a smoke A main, he put a smoke a B, and he put a smoke C, just so he can pop these smokes at a moment's notice. And then like every once in a while he'll throw like a gravity well somewhere to like prevent enemies from pushing, like scaling into waterfall here, or he'll use a gravity well where a smoke normally would go. If he doesn't have a smoke up, he'll gravity well tree, and then his Sky got a nice little pick here. And then sometimes he only did this once, but he did the smoke grav well setup at C when the Killjoy was playing there as well to kind of help him out. But this smoke gravity well setup is really nice because, you know, if they get caught in it, that you can have someone playing bend to peek into the gravity well, or you can have someone playing on C site, so it's exposed from both of these angles here. And then this wall is, you know, just a nice little retake wall. This is pretty much the defense side, so let's move on to attack. What the hell? Okay, I guess Are you the streamer now? Here, let me get the microphone closer to your mouth. Do you have anything to say? Nope. Guess not. Pretty good start from our boy here. 18 and 8, top fragging as Astra. Looks a lot like me. So he gets on attack Ghost and buys 2 stars. Yes, Ghost and 2 stars. This is pretty standard. He's gonna put a smoke here. Nothing spicy about that. Nothing out of the ordinary.
They broke out already.
Oh, he's doing a little lurk play.
I'll pick up some. Pick up some.
He's fighting us, guys.
I heal.
I have a guy with a deagle not taking the fight.
I only have 1 smoke. No smoke for ceiling. Front B. Front B.
I'll kill.
Sneaky little Killjoy there. He starts here, kind of like waits. Gonna like lurk into this position. Then he's gonna smoke top, and then his teammates are gonna kind of like route into A. This is a recall too. I don't think this is gonna be a recall all the time, but as of right now, that's what we got. And then he smokes this.
I naded.
He's doing a little jump spot. He pretty much defaults that recall star just to create some presence there.
He gave us A also.
Yep, recall. And then he smokes again. Okay. So they're making noise C, they're making noise A. They're going to hear that orb pick up.
C is harder to take. We have Guardians too.
There you go. C is going to be harder to take. They have Guardians. A is going to be a more favorable fight for them because of the Guardians.
Reyna was there.
Okay, he's going to re-smoke.
I'm pushing into tree.
This star is interesting. You'll see what he does, but I would think that this star here would be a concuss or a suck, and then these smokes kind of just help him get onto site, you know, through here. Get on a site, and then they concuss there, and then maybe the jet pushes it and then kills that guy. But you'll see what he does, which is interesting. He recalled the star that was back site, and I'm wondering if he did that to use the star in post plant. You know, if the enemies saw that there was a star there, they're not going to think that's going to be a smoke. They're probably going to think that that star is going to be a sucker concuss. That star is probably placed there as a threat so that the enemies had to either peek out from back site, or they get scared of the push and then they route back into top, or they go drop. He might have recalled because he knows that they're probably going to fall back. If they saw that star, they're not going to just sit there and see what happens, right? This is really high elo, so they're probably going to see that star and respect it. Oh, see, look, the Killjoy is there. So I think the Killjoy either disrespected the star, or they dropped down after the star was recalled or something. He might have just backed up far away enough where the star wouldn't affect him anyway. So, and then he throws a smoke up here, puts a star here. All right, so I'm just going to put this little note here. That's crazy. Okay, so he's pretty much defaulting that star at A main every round. Let me just put that in the notes here so I don't forget.
Yeah, 3 here, raise.
And you're just holding this angle with the Guardian. Okay.
We can hit.
Playing those long distance angles.
They're close.
He's just showing some presence on C while his team fights A.
I stunned deep, I stunned deep.
Okay,
I
concusses.
think it's Rebel. I think he's here.
Yeah, I stunned him.
Concusses Rebel and then re-smokes A main. That sucks.
Close, close left, close left. Close left. Oh, I have no bullets.
If they have a bunch of enemies playing in this area, they already like scaled up. He is going to concuss there so that his teammates can kind of fight it. This concuss can just kind of help them take that space. And then he smokes this. Whenever this is smoked by the attackers, they're going to potentially split B, or they're going to take this space and then eventually break door and just go B and then smoke this and blah, blah, blah.
Grab him. Just right.
Who was it? Who?
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice wall. I've done a wall sometimes where you go across door, you block off stairs, you block off top, and it kind of cuts top in half. I think this wall is just good because it gives you this little area to plant in. You wall here, and then you just plant there. It just allows them to kind of take all of this space, the stairs space, and it allows them to get the bomb down relatively safely. They're going to try to contest it.
Smoke after this.
Fuck me.
He's just smoking where the wall is, just so that when the wall does come down, I think he did it a little bit early.
One enemy remaining.
And then he just blasted everyone, just indiscriminately.
Made it.
Player standing.
Yeah.
Yo, he.
What?
Yeah, he does that smoke every time.
Do it.
Now he's gonna suck. Yep.
Wait, let me ulti.
That sucks good. That's a pretty good suck to know. This suck prevents them from peeking so that you can kind of scale up.
Oh, amazing.
Whenever they plant here, s0m is gonna, like, he hasn't entered site at all. He's kind of let his team take control of C. He's either holding this position. He never really crosses this. He kind of just controls this space, you know? Bam.
I'm gonna knife him.
Oh my god, they're going for the knife.
Yo, mans need some work.
A lot to learn from the Astra GOAT. He defaults this smoke over here and usually recalls it every round unless they're gonna like take B and split B. You know, this recall can help his team cross into rubble, or it can help them get the advantage, get the peeker's advantage here. And then, you know, you just have your normal smokes when he's actually executing onto A. The only thing weird with A is this star that I think was supposed to be a concuss or a suck, but I think there's kind of some kind of big brain thing going on here where he's threatening a concuss or a suck with this star because it's not going to be a smoke star. But in the case that he put this here, he recalled it instead of concussing or sucking it. You have this ult at the front edge of the site, which can kind of help you take control of all of this space and get the bomb down pretty easily. And then he re-smokes stairs and just fights. The first round, forgot to mention this, but he kind of lurks up B. Normal smokes on C. Their strat on Lotus was inserting FNS into this position and just kind of like lurking up. FNS lurk up this way, inserts himself there. He's listening for enemy rotates. As they make a lot of noise C, if he hears them rotating, he's like, okay, come back A, and then they come back A, take A, and then, you know, win the round. Sometimes they did commit C if FNS was like pushing here and they used a ton of utility. But when s0m takes C, he never really fully commits into C and takes space or plays bend or anything like that. He lets his teammates do that, and then he just watches this waterfall cross as his teammates go on site. And then he just watches flank during the post plant. This gravity well can just kind of help him get the defenders to fall back and allows them to take this space. So that's pretty much it for attack. So that is s0m Astra on Lotus. And that's going to be it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see from me in the future. Subscribe for more guides like this one and check out this one next for more. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.